Hey there, my name's Chris. Thanks for watching. Once again, I ask, please subscribe to this channel. Doesn't cost anything. It literally does help us become more visible. I would consider it a close personal favor if you'd take a moment and subscribe right now. Okay, we're talking week 12, and you're here for some boldness and perhaps a bit of comedy. So let's do this. I'm going to count down 5 bold calls we're gonna see happen in week 12. So listen, was I maybe a little over-aggressive with my initial Derek Carr rank this week when I put him 6th among all fantasy quarterbacks? I was, and I copped to it on the podcast. I do a podcast, by the way, every day. Find it wherever you get podcasts. And I wound up lowering him to a saner seeming, but maybe to you still insane, number 11 among fantasy quarterbacks. But the fact remains, Carr has been shockingly okay since the Raiders' offense has started to come around in the past month or so. I think in his past 5 games, he's got 3 in which he's finished as a QB1 that week. Now, part of that was because he had a rushing touchdown last week, and that's not exactly his game. And he's also never really a threat to go off and get you the league-winning 30-point week. But the Jets are friendly against opposing quarterbacks. Daniel Jones lit him up. Ryan Fitzpatrick lit him up. Gardner Minshew lit him up. Jets do have a good defensive line. They can 100% get pressure on opposing QBs. And so now that I'm calling Derek Carr a low-level QB1 for this week, I have every confidence that Carr will wind up earning like 17 Chucky doll sack-related scowls. But dang it, no. The Jets are good in the front end, but bad on the back end. Derek Carr goes out there. He does 302 touchdowns. He throws a screen pass to the Jack Gerbil, Josh Jacobs for an 80-yard touchdown. Then they run a Statue of Liberty play, and they throw it back, and Derek Carr catches a 50-yard touchdown. Or, probably not that, but 300 yards, 2 touchdowns. I'm going to say 21 fantasy points. And starting him over the likes of Brady, Wentz, and even Winston will work out. I admit, as of my recording this right now, I don't know for sure that James Conner will miss the Steelers' Week 12 visit to Cincinnati. And if he does play, well then Jaylen Samuels probably will not break Brandon Marshall's single-game receptions record of 21. But if Conner is out, get freaking ready. Last time the Steelers played the Bengals, on national TV no less, Pittsburgh's painful passing attack threw it 16 times to the running backs, 8 apiece to Conner and to Samuels, because A, Mason Rudolph is a captain checkdown, and B, the Bengals play real vanilla on the back end and basically are okay being bled to death slowly rather than giving up 50-yard bombs all game. 16 receptions to the running backs last time. Let's round up and call it 400 this time. Now, I have no love for Jaylen Samuels as a runner. He's a shotgun draw play for no yards waiting to happen. He is I've got you one-on-one on the edge. Yeah, I got no moves. I'm just going to fall down. In other words, he's not that exciting as a ball carrier. But you know his deal. He was a college H-back, college tight end. He had over 200 receptions in college. He's the dump-off target of choice when there's no James Conner. And there's going to be a plaque in Canton commemorating this game. Jaylen Samuels, 400 catches in a single game. We never would have believed it was possible if we hadn't seen it with our own eyes. Get him in lineups. RB16 for me in standard, RB1 in PPR. Just kidding, not RB1. But the bold prediction is no James Conner against this opponent. You're looking at 20-plus PPR points, even without a trip to the end zone. Hey, if you'd like to save 15% on a new mattress, this is a good little spot for you to hear. We're sponsored by Lisa today. They make the mattress I sleep on and the mattress I sometimes write this show on. I'm a big fan of Lisa. I think if you need a new mattress, they're the name you need to know. But also, who cares what I think? I'm just some fart face on the internet. More importantly, Lisa knows sleeping on a new mattress for like 5 days from a retail mattress store, that's not enough to know whether it really suits you, which is why they give you 100 nights to sleep on yours. And if you don't like it after more than 3 months, send it back. No questions asked. Get your money back. To get that 15% off and a great mattress, go to lisa.com. Use the promo code HarrisTube. You'll love it. I do. Lisa.com. The fall of Zach Ertz probably was always overstated. He's now riding back-to-back games of 9 catches after spending about a month on a milk carton. Certainly the absence of trustable wideouts has been behind Dallas Goedert playing a ton when your choice is like Goddard or Mac Hollins. But last week, with both Deshaun Jackson and Alshon Jeffrey not playing, we saw Carson Wentz lean ever heavier on Ertz to the point where the Patriots started putting their number one corner, Stephon Gilmore, on Ertz in the second half. Dallas Goedert, meantime, is a very good young player. I'm not saying anything bad about him. I have great long-term hopes for him. Right now, he's used as the other guy. He's the safety valve after everyone is cleared out, or he's the seam guy when all the pass pattern noise is elsewhere. That's not his fault, but it's not a role that should yield 3 touchdowns in his past 4 games. Now, it has fantasy rankers agog. I mean, don't bet into a winning streak. There aren't any other good tight ends. Just keep starting Dallas Goedert until he doesn't score. And you know what? I agree with that advice. But let's not mistake the awful state of the position and the lack of alternatives with Goddard actually being likely to keep this up. He has 4 touchdowns on 24 catches this year, and even more damning, 3 touchdowns on his last 10 catches. Come on, Eagles. It's time for these scales of justice to tip. I know Ertz draws the attention. Goddard reaps the benefits. That's not always true, right? Ertz drew attention last year, scored 8 times. This week against the Seahawks, it'll be different. Ertz gets in the end zone, establishes his fantasy alpha maleness again, and establishes his spot on the actual Eagles alpha male pecking order by running over to Dallas Goedert, who I'm sure is a perfectly lovely person, and forcing him to eat the football. Fisticuffs will ensue. The Rams' passing attack is a disaster. Jared Goff went from being some people's favorite quarterback sleeper to falling outside the top 20 fantasy QBs. He has 11 touchdown passes and 10 interceptions in 10 games. The offensive line hasn't gotten him sacked all that much, but that's because he has to get rid of it quicker. He's had appreciably less time in the pocket to make a decision, and his air yards per attempt, and first downs per attempt are lower as a result. It's taken the deep passing game almost entirely away. And again, I think Goff is what he is. He's not the best. He's not the worst. But his line is just bad. And so Monday night against the Ravens, he'll get to see his old teammate from 6 weeks ago, Marcus Peters, also Marlon Humphrey and Brandon Carr. And having corners like that lets Baltimore play a ton of man and throw the kitchen sink at the line of scrimmage. That is a terrible combination for these Rams, who do get Brandon Cooks back, but I'm not sure how healthy he is, and otherwise, they don't really threaten you deep and can't block you up well enough a lot of the time anyway to beat you deep, and really had to resort to kind of a sudden run-blocking scheme shift to bamboozle the Bears for a half last week, but that kind of came crashing back to earth in the second half of that game. I'm not even going to say Todd Gurley is doomed in Week 12 because the Ravens have been, okay, they've been giving up some yards to running backs, but they are not okay for any opposing passing game, let alone this one. And so my prediction is that after halftime, when Jared Goff is stuck on 14 yards passing and Cooper Kupp is sorting through the board game closet in the Coliseum locker room, they'll find Eric Dickerson's old Gnip Gnop and Jackie Slater's Jenga, and they just won't come out for the second half. And finally, I've shown you Bo Scarborough film and J.D. McKissick film and Ty Johnson film until the cows have quite literally come home. They are watching this video over my shoulder, and even they are astonished that anyone thinks they can foresee what the Lions will do with their backfield Week 12 against Washington. Oh, you just watched Bo Scarborough play 27 of a possible 57 snaps and have decided, now I know who the Detroit running back is from now until the end of time. Awesome. This week, Yeah, the Lions are going to mess with you again. They're going to bring back Joik Bell from the Senior Pro Hot Dog Eating Circuit to be activated 30 seconds before kickoff and lead the team in touches, rushing yards, touchdowns, and funny nicknames. More like Joik Hell, am I right? The only pattern in the Lions' running game since Kerryon Johnson got hurt is that there is no pattern. I'm old enough to remember when all anyone could tell me about the Detroit backfield was, oh, baby, we know they don't throw. There's so much work there for everyone. Darrell Bevell, I think he forgot the quarterback's name. They're going to run so much. And now, with no Wizinator in the mix, it's trick after trick after trick after trick. Ty Johnson, Paul Perkins, no. J.D. McKissick, And now we're positive it's Bo freaking Scarborough, when, frankly, even without Matthew Stafford, with Jeff Driscoll, they've thrown a fair amount. Now, Bo Scarborough did a nice job coming off the street last week, and nothing against him personally, but Trent Richardson called, and he wants his moves back. So the bold prediction here, Bo Scarborough fumbles on Detroit's first series and is released by halftime. McKissick winds up making a baller play, but nevertheless only appears on about 10 snaps. And Joik Bell scores 6 touchdowns in a glorious return to form. If by form you mean weight gained eating lots of hot dogs. Thanks so much for watching. Please, please, please smash that like button, write a comment, tell us who else you'd like to see us review film on, and of course, best of all, please subscribe to our channel and then click that little bell above the subscribe button and you'll be notified whenever we post a new video.